Today I'm going to talk about project cars. This little 91 Ranger is a salvage title totaled truck that I bought about 10 or 12 years ago from Copart. Doesn't look very totaled, but whoever owned it before had been rear-ended and it messed up the back of the bed. And of course, insurance isn't going to pay to have something like this fixed. So they sent it to Copart and paid the original owner out. And I bought it for 400 bucks. And I haven't done a whole lot to it since. I have been looking for a hot rod project now for a while. And if anybody's looked on Marketplace, they know there's just not that much out there anymore. It used to be that you could pick up a pretty solid car for under $1,000. The stuff that's out there now for under $1,000 is rusted out, clapped out, parts cars really. And the amount of money that you're going to put into most of those cars, you're way better off putting together 10 or 15 grand and just buying something that's already done and then spending some time making it your own from there. And that brings us to this. This is a classic body style, solid metal, old feeling classic car. People don't love them. They don't fetch a ton of money. It's pretty easy to find one of these for $800 to $2,500 in pretty good condition. You can still put antique tags on it. The paint is single stage and failing. It has the start of what will become patina. With a 6-foot bed, this truck is actually pretty useful. It's simple. It has crank windows, manual locks, manual sliding seats, a headlight switch that pulls out and pushes in. It has an extended cab that's just big enough to throw your junk in and nothing else. The bed's not rusted. Actually, nothing on this truck is rusted. This truck came from Oklahoma, and I'm in Arkansas, and it's never seen snow. An open diff 2-wheel drive truck isn't going to be your means of transportation when it ices around here. And even if it did, we don't get salt. It has the stock exhaust. It has some helper springs in the back. The wheels are kind of cool, but they don't fit the wheel wells. The chrome is nice, and the plastic's unbroken. This truck is bone stock, unmolested. Nobody's hacked it up. It's not somebody else's failed project or first project. And here's why the truck was cheap and why they totaled it. In the back, it had a bumper that curled underneath and came loose and destroyed the back of the bed and wrinkled the bedside and then pushed the bed forward into the cab and dented the cab. And when it hit the cab, it broke out the back window. So what I did is I put some plexiglass in it and I took the bumper off and I knocked the tailgate back straight enough to open and close. And I pulled this back and popped that in. And I put some tires on it. And other than that, I've never really done anything to this truck. I've put maybe 10,000 miles on it. I think whenever I got it, it had 92,000 on it. And right now, it's just rolled over to 2,200. And why is it in 10 or 12 years I've only put 10,000 miles on it? Well, this 2.9 is why. These trucks have some of the worst drivetrains imaginable. You had the 4-cylinder 2.3, which was god awful, and the not so much better 3.0 or 2.9 that I honestly wish was the 2.3. And that's where I'm at with this truck. I love the styling. I absolutely love the grille and squared off shape. I love how it feels. The body is not a tin can. The doors open and close flawlessly. It has 3 pedals and cruise control and air conditioning, and it has the factory keys. It has a good radio and pretty clean interior. It's had a steering wheel cover on it for God knows how long, and underneath the steering wheel's perfect. When I got it, I put a USB charger in because that was up-to-date technology, and now it's not. The headliner's perfect. The carpet is dirty, but it's also perfect. The door panels are clean. And besides the bed in the back of the cab and the tailgate, this truck is remarkably straight. The taillights are broken. The paint is in desperate need of a cut and buff. And the headlights are dim. And the marker lights are a little cracked. But overall, this is a remarkably good condition vehicle for its age. And that brings me to my problem. What do I do with it? It's not worth selling. I'll never find another one that I know as well. I've spent 10 years with this truck. It's a good truck, but I hate using it. At this point, I have not driven this truck any meaningful distance since 2024, and it's 2026 now. I put new gas in it because it was literally starting to go bad, and then I let it run so I could fill it up again. And why don't I drive it? Well, the 2.9 liter 5-speed combo with 373s or 355s, whichever it has, and an open rear differential just isn't fun. And I'm comparing that to my daily driver, which is a 2003 Toyota Camry 4-cylinder automatic, which is actually a more enjoyable experience than this. But this car is cool. And so what do I do with something that I don't want to drive? What do I do with something that isn't inspiring? Well, I don't know. I'm actually trying to figure that out while making this video. Realistically, it needs more power, and it needs something to awaken the visceral experience of driving it. The common way to do that is to put a 5-liter in it. And I may do that. I know I'm going to keep the 3 pedals. I'm not positive if it's going to go lower or it's going to go higher. I have other 4-wheel drive vehicles, so realistically, I'm not going to off-road this. I'd like to preserve it, which means it's going to live on the street. And with gas prices going past $5, I'd honestly like it to get good gas mileage. But that's not really the top of my concern. I want it to be fun. I want this to be something I want to get in and I want to use. I don't want it to sit around. I don't want it to be just another thing I'm paying insurance and registration on. I want it to be something that enhances my life. Realistically, the smart move would be to leave it alone. It'd be to keep it stock and enjoy it for what it is. But I'm not enjoying it. And I don't want to sell it. This is something that will last forever. And I think I can keep it in that same vein. The bones of this truck are what make it great, but the heart of it is what makes it terrible. This, for me, is my attempt to recapture what we used to do on forums. In the early 2000s, there wasn't really social media in the way that there is now. We had forum pages, and one of my favorite things to do was to do build threads. And I didn't do build threads on customer vehicles, I did build threads on my personal vehicles. And I really enjoyed doing those. It was a different format back then. You know, you would post a picture to your thread, and then underneath of it you would explain what you were doing. You would give the parameters that you were trying to meet, and everybody would kind of go back and forth and talk about the tech of it and critique each other. And that's really what I miss. And I'm hoping through video and the comment section, this series will be similar to that. And that brings me to, what do I do with this? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get it back drivable. Like I said, I haven't driven this truck in 2 years nearly. I think the brakes are good, but they definitely need work. It needs new seats. The interior is fine, but one of the most miserable parts of this truck is the fact that the seats just suck. They're nasty feeling cloth seats that don't really have any bolstering in them, and I don't know. I don't love them. So I'm gonna start with some interior upgrades. The AC works in this truck, but it's lost its charge. So I'm gonna fix that. The bed, it's fine, but it does bother me. This is a nice truck, and I'd like it to look better. So I'm gonna try to fix the dents and keep the paint. And I'm gonna polish it and get the paint looking better. And I may lower it, or I may lift it. And it may get a solid axle swap. And it may get a V8, or it may get a 4-cylinder with a turbo. I haven't really decided yet. I've looked at a lot of different drivetrains, and just like the project cars, the cool stuff's expensive. And that's kind of where I shine. I like divergence. I've done a lot of really off-the-wall, ass-backwards stuff. My drift car that I currently have is a Jeep Cherokee, and it works great. And it has a solid axle in the front. And I did that about 7 or 8 years ago before anybody else did. And there are videos out there if you search Drift Jeep, and you'll find some of the things that I've done. But I want to do something fun that I care about. And maybe you guys will too. But ultimately, this is a great truck that's worth saving. And in order for me to save it, I think I need to be passionate about it. So that's where we're going to start, is making it something that I want to do. And we'll see where it goes from there. Follow along.